So I just had a a very heavy-ish, and I want to say like cool for me, but like not cool for like when it happened. I just had like a realization that Jesus um went through more human things than I thought before, or maybe that I believed before. Um, he he was more lonely than a bunch of us, probably any of us, could ever imagine or go through. Like, loneliness is a big thing that a lot of us go through nowadays, whether you're surrounded by people or you're just by yourself, whether you feel lonely in your situation, whether you feel lonely in how hard you're dealing with grief, or you feel lonely and how hard you have to work and to get to like to accomplish things, or you feel lonely and the mental struggles that you have, or you feel lonely um and like you see what the relationships people have outside of you, like whether it's romantic relationships or the people or the relationships that people have with friends, and you feel lonely because you don't have that, or it's not the way that you wish you had it. And for so many, like, very like serious and, more lighter reasons why we feel a very hard feeling of loneliness. But I don't think that any of us has felt the loneliness that Jesus felt. I just like, so I've been watching The Chosen, and just thank God for videos and all these resources that allows us to like understand the word and Jesus, in different ways, because a lot of us suck at being disciplined in reading. I know I do. And so like one thing I've been doing lately, like as in like past 8 days, is like I watch an episode of Chosen, but then I'll try to like read a book in the Bible. Um, but like, yeah, I've definitely been spending more time watching TV. And it's been like I've also like I'm a big like YouTube, the Bible Project on YouTube fan. I will look up videos. Shoot, since Zion, I legit and spend a couple times like without Zion looking at children's Bible shows or videos. Shout out to Minnow, to get a little bit of time in, of my mind focusing on Christ, and it's been a blessing. But anyway, and they just the episode in The Chosen, I'm on like the second season, like the third or fourth episode, and basically the whole hour long is them it's like the disciples, and that they basically had a very long day. They had a long day because they had just arrived in this town, and like Jesus' fame was spreading, and so there's been like a line of people coming to see Jesus and basically ask for healing, or like whatever they needed. They want to like either come see him, come talk to him, or ask for healing. Sounds kind of like after church for a pastor. And so, but on a whole nother level, you got the whole town coming to you, not just church, you got the whole town. And so and Jesus, he's the most loving and gracious and open than all of us, and so he didn't turn people away. And so that was like we was like it was all about like the disciples, like and them just talking about like, dude, like the line keep getting longer, and like, bro, like he not turning nobody away, like, dude, like we all tired and we got to like do all this stuff, but I wish he would have told them to come back tomorrow, where we were like actually prepared and set up first and all this stuff. Basically at the end of that day, that you see Jesus coming, like walking back from that area when he was finally done, like, and like the crowd was gone, they had all went back to their homes, and he finally had, helped his last person, and he was physically exhausted. Just like imagine how you are, if you know, or if you are a person in a helping profession, if you're a therapist, or if you're a teacher, if you're a nurse or a doctor, or anyone that, if you, like a person who talk to people on the phone all day, like in customer service and different things like that, like working at a call center for any reason, like, you know how exhausting it is to support people, to to like be gracious and love on people all day. And he wasn't just like talking to them or like helping them like solve a problem that he already had, that there was already like a fixed process for. Like, he was healing a bunch of folks. And so like seeking God's power to work through him and help and heal these folks, like you're like at the with the when the woman who had the 12 years or longer of blood disease, and she touched the hem of his garment, and he felt it, and he said he felt the anointing, some anointing leave him. Like, if that was off of one person and she touched the hem of his garment, and he wasn't even intentionally exerting energy, like, but he felt some anointing slash energy like come out of his body, and he had to like, whoa, what just happened? Like, imagine him intentionally exerting energy to heal like person after person after person, and like listen to people in their stories, and like, oh my God, I really wanted to tell you because I couldn't wait to meet you, and like da 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 da. And like him, like I would assume like, I think he was very human, and so he probably like had a lot of thoughts that we have. Probably like I remember like that third one, the one who just left. Man, she talked a lot, or like, the one like, like usually, well, I was trying to help this other person. You saw them people like two people behind them, like they was like about to get in a fist fight, and I'm trying to like calm them down, but I'm trying to help her in front of here and all this other stuff. Like, he was dealing with a crowd of folks. That's exhausting. And like, so the picture, like the chosen, like at the end of the episode, like he basically just like he walked away from his where he was at, where he was doing his thing, and he walked past all the disciples. Like, the disciples stopped and like stared at him while he was walking, because they was just like, man, like he looks beat up, like his clothes was disheveled. He was there from morning till night, like doing this with people, like helping them, supporting them, talking to them, healing them. And he was beat. And it just made me realize, like, he had like more than 12 disciples like there, like setting up camp, and they were like, helping with crowd control and doing different things, but no one was doing what he was doing. No one could step in and like give him a break and be like, hey, it's all right, like I can help out the next five. I can take it for the next 30 minutes and like have God work through me and heal the next like however many people. Jesus was the only one who had that power. He was the only one who could do what he could do. And that's like not fun. That's not fun at all. Like, that's not like, I'm sure obviously, like he was like, he's like, God, whatever your will is, like let it be done. But that's not fun. Like, to you, the only person that can do all this good. Like, so not just in your ministry, 3-year ministry that you're like, someone said it's like, I don't know who just told me that the other day, but it was like I'm gonna call it his tour, like his road tour or whatever. Like, this 3-year ministry slash road tour, like no one could do what he did. Like, people could help cook, people could help, like, like set up camp and set the tents up and do different things and like get food, but like no one could do what he did, which is the thing that everybody came to see and want from him. Everyone wanted from him, whether it was a message, a teaching, healing, assurance of the kingdom coming, like all of what they learned in the Torah and all that stuff. Like, they wanted assurance that like he was the actual Messiah. So he had to like meet people like heart to heart, and that takes like to be that genuine with so many people you come in contact with. That's exhausting. And like, to be the only person that could do that for so long, but then also like once his once the end of his ministry was approaching and he knew it was time for him to go, that was incredibly lonely because he knew for a fact no one can go up there, no one can go on that cross but me. And I'm sure he like wasn't surprised at the fact that, or that he wasn't surprised that a lot of his disciples kind of like, ditched out like the night when he got arrested. Like it said, I think it said in the Bible that like they named different disciples who ran when he got arrested. And so he got arrested by himself. He got beat by himself. He got crucified by himself. And despite like his power, despite like the God, how close he was to God, like that crap isn't fun in the fact that he was very human. Like he had to feel all of that by himself. Like it's like we all know for a fact that it's way easier going through something with another person. If you know for a fact that like someone else understands exactly what I'm going through because they went through the exact same thing, or they're going through the exact same thing with me now. So like, have going through like I don't like a divorce, going through pregnancy, going through like a transition from this stage of my life to this stage of my life, like graduating and getting your first job, like, and going through that with a friend, going through that with someone who cares for you, loves you, or even like you meet somebody at a new job and they just started the same day you did and you like, oh cool, we gonna stick together, like, because we gonna stick together. We do that as humans because it's natural for us to want to not want to go through things by ourselves. Jesus did not have that option. And I feel like it just made it even worse that like all these people wants something from you, which is what you wanted to give. You want to give these things, but like I'm sure I would highly doubt that it felt wonderful for him to know you got these disciples, these best friends, these students, these whoever, like they was close to you. You got close to these folks, and none of them will ever truly understand, can like truly feel what you feel. I think Jesus had experienced the worst type of loneliness. Like even with God there, the same way we feel about like the fact that we can't see God, we're not with him. I can't lean on his shoulder. I can't like walk with him like physically together. Like, yeah, I know you with me, but like also like physically, like I'm the only one here. And it was the same for Jesus. He was by himself. And I think it helped like because like he knew how to pray. He knew how to go to God to pray for that support, to pray for that peace that passes all understanding, to ask for what he needed in the moment. But he still did all that by himself. And so yeah, if you're ever feeling lonely, Jesus knows. Jesus knows way, way more than probably way more than you think. And just like a few, like I just learned like 2 days ago that like Joseph, his dad, like passed away. Like, I don't know how old he was, but it was, but it was, before Jesus left the earth, his dad passed away. And it sounds like, I don't know, I think he might have died when he was like a teenager or something, but like his dad, who I'm sure was a good dad, who I assume was a good dad, and who like loved him and cared for him and loved him and his mom. Jesus also had to deal with the death of a parent, and also had to like love and support on his mom after the death of her husband, of a good husband. Like, so he knows grief. Like, and I'm sure like him being Messiah didn't make that any harder. Sorry, didn't make that any easier, that having your dad go. So Like, because regardless of whether he like knew that I know I'm gonna see him one day, but also he's not here anymore. Tomorrow when we wake up, our routine has to be different because dad's not here anymore. Like, he went through grief. He, supported a loved one in their grief. He had, I'm sure, many, many times of loneliness. He's more human than we think. And I think it's hard for us to relate to him sometimes because we don't, um, we haven't seen it. So I thank God for The Chosen, for this TV show, and for even the conversation with like people in my small group, um, and bomb sermons from pastors. Shout out Traders Point, for teaching the reality of Jesus and the character of Christ. Um, yeah, it makes me feel closer to him. Yeah, and so that's it. Well, that was like 60 minutes. That's all. But yeah.